I want to go ahead and thank everybody for joining us today. I want to go ahead and introduce David and Kristen. We have them here with us from American Salon. Thank you so much for meeting with us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Excited, right? So one of the things that I always like to do when we start off these coffee talks, as anybody who has watched before, how do you take your coffee?
Well, I like my coffee in the martini glass. I like espresso martinis. Pretty much all year round. There's never a bad season to have them. So.
Okay, sounds good. We're not sending him a mug. We're going to go ahead and send him a martini glass instead.
Please and thank you. Actually, well, they have the new Starbucks Reserve, which they actually have espresso martinis. The new, you know those new Starbucks Reserves?
No, but now we're going to go.
Oh, they're really good.
Coffee talk over. Love that. So how do you like to take your coffee?
Well, in the non-alcohol category, I have recently discovered oat milk for coffee instead of regular milk. Then I just saw on Instagram that some Instagram coffee influencer who I follow informed me that macadamia nut milk is the new thing.
Oh my God.
And that oat milk is so 2018.
So what happened to almond milk? Is that
Almond milk? What's almond milk?
That was like
It's gone.
2008.
It's gone. Okay, well I just learned a whole bunch of stuff. I take mine black, so...
No martini glass, no macadamia milk.
Like, I guess I'm just not fitting the norm, but
That's okay. You don't need
it's
to.
okay. I'm not fitting the norm.
Right.
So one of the things that I know that you guys are doing with American Salon this year is you guys have gone fully digital. And I know that's predominantly what we're going to be talking about today. So can you tell us a little bit about how the industry trends and the projections have led you guys to make that decision?
Yeah, so we were meeting with all of our advertisers, all of our clients, going over 2019 planning. And, you know, across the board, everybody, no one was interested in print advertising. So really, we were just listening to our clients and thinking about everything that they wanted. And everything was very social digital focused. And then we were keeping a really close eye on consumer magazines, you know, Glamour, Redbook, 17. And that's a wide range, that's a wide age range, you know, from 17 to Redbook. Yeah. And all of them going fully digital. So we're like, well, what are we missing here? You know, after 141 years of being in print, we're like, it's time to go all digital. And that's what we did. So we were listening to everybody and listening to the market and the evolution of advertising, the evolution of the way people consume content. So, yeah.
And on that note, for the 141 years in print, we recently just partnered with FIT, and they're going to be housing all of our archived issues, so that everyone is now going to be able to access them at any time. Yeah, so that's really exciting for us.
That is really exciting.
Yeah,
That's really cool. Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to pick up a bridal magazine every once here and there, you know, just to peruse. But I get it.
Different market.
Totally,
You know,
totally.
like completely different market. But yes, I completely agree.
And I think with the trends that you were discussing, we saw a big trend with influencers, and people were utilizing them. All these companies were trying to use these influencers to push their products and get their message across. And they didn't realize that, you know, they have all these influencers in-house. They have all these well-educated stylists that work for their own brands. Mm-hmm. And what we're starting to notice as a trend this year is they want to use their in-house stylists and they want to brand them. They want to use social media marketing and digital marketing to brand them, which is where we come into play. So that wouldn't be something you'd be using for print magazines. So just a whole other
Completely different avenue. But that's really good to know. So for our particular listeners, right, for all the business owners that are listening, it almost sounds like you're saying that the people that you hire, and I'm going off track here a little bit, but it almost makes sense that they should also be well versed in social media,
right?
And at least have some common understanding and have some education on that as well, and kind of understand the trends.
Yeah.
And if they don't, because current staff, for instance, might not be totally versed in it.
Yeah.
It's also, I think, important to educate your staff on how you're using it and how it's important to your business, so that everyone is on the same page. It's not too late to learn.
No,
Your mom is now using an iPad, so
Yeah, right? No air clicking anymore,
Well, think
the
of
mouse.
Redbook. Redbook is, you know, primarily for 35 and up and everything, and it's they're all digital, so it's clearly like people are learning how to use it. So
Yeah. Well, there's no other way now.
yeah.
Right? There's no other way.
well, we get all of our content. All of my news comes from my phone. So
This is true.
I'll never have time to pick up a magazine if I wanted to. So.
This is true, and we get alerts about all the things that are happening, right? We were talking before, you're like, how do you feel about this particular topic?
Right.
By the way, I didn't know it happened unless I got the alert this morning, so, at least I'm still current.
Well, every morning I swipe right, and it gives me all my news. I'm like, okay, that's what I need to know for the day. Usually it's Trump stuff, but whatever.
So let me ask you this. Since you guys are going to be going digital now, how is that going to serve your audience? How is that going to impact your audience? What changes is that going to make for them?
QuestX is a company we're in the social digital world with an emphasis on events. So we're actually going to be implementing this new concept called the pop-up magazine, where since you don't have an actual print magazine, the magazine will now come to life in an event, almost like an experiential marketing event. Where we'll be bringing the entire magazine to life with either a story to tell or something to show us. We will have an event. We'll take care of. We'll invite like 400 or 500 people. We'll have a cocktail hour. We'll have a little show. We'll have a meet and greet. It's all tailored depending on what the client wants. So it's a little bit more one-on-one with the readers, with followers, and it's another way to get people engaged and interacting with us. So and the clients.
And in terms of the actual magazine, because we still do have a digital issue that lives on our website, and it's actually also available on our app, which we developed a while ago. We've had an app for a long time.
Yeah, like 2010?
I think it's 2011. So we started in 2011, so all those back issues are on this app. But we are very aware that people today, everyone has a little bit of ADD. People are not spending time reading feature-length articles, it's the salon owner, it's the stylist, it's the colorist, they're behind the chair, they're on their phone, they need things quick and fast, and it needs to be visual and pack a punch. So I think, going away with print and being completely digital kind of serves, all their needs, what they're looking for and their behavior, so.
Right, like everyone can look at if they want to see something, they can just quickly Google it or look on our search tab and quickly find it, a how-to of how to do this or this, and it's just very quick. No one has time to be reading.
Super consumed.
And videos,
yeah.
They cannot be in print. It's just
right, they
impossible.
can't.
So, and that's another direction that we're kind of going in more.
Yeah, we're moving into this new office in a couple months.
Nice.
And we're going to be, I'm very focused on video and editing and whatnot, and we are going to have a content studio in this new office with some new staff to kind of work all these things out.
As you guys are changing, the team is changing and evolving and growing.
Yeah, and it'll be 100% paperless, so we're not quite sure yet what that
We're not allowed
looks
to bring
like,
paper.
but
Wow.
It's going to be a paperless office.
So what have you learned about the changing ways audience consume content?
So everyone's consuming content exceptionally quick. The average person sees about 6,000 ads a day, and you can't possibly keep them engaged in everything they're seeing all day. So we have to come up with more engaging content super quickly. We're posting 10, 12 posts a day, and a lot of that is just us posting. That's not even the advertisers coming in and posting. And we're keeping our IG stories up to date. It's constantly throwing content out there and hoping something sticks. But it has to be more engaging. You can't just put things out there. So we spend a lot of time combing through things to make sure that it's appropriate for our audience and people are going to actually appreciate it. We are the number one and have been for the last almost 12 months most engaged social platform in our trade. Because of the content we're getting out there, we have an organic following, so people are constantly speaking to us about what we're posting. They're asking us questions, they're engaged, they're talking to us, we're talking to them. It's a little bit more one-on-one.
Yep.
I think so.
Another thing that I think is interesting in the digital and social space is that audiences may live in different places and they may be looking at different things, but we're really aware of how we drive our audience and the path that they take to get to the content that we're creating. So while we have a humongous following on Instagram, we don't let that just live on Instagram. We are constantly directing people back to our website. We have an awesome art director who creates these amazing visuals that we can post in our stories or static posts on Instagram saying, hey, did you see this? Did you swipe up to this article? Driving people back to our site. We do that with our digital edition too. We do promos on Instagram and Facebook, driving people back to our website, and we're finding that's how people are are consuming the content, they're finding it on social media, and that's where I honestly find a lot of my stuff too. For I follow like New York Magazine.
That's where you found your
all of
macadamia milk.
That's
The
actually
macadamia, yeah.
exactly. And you know what I did? I swiped up and I went to, I forget whichever vendor sells this macadamia. I think it's called Milkadamia. Anyway, it's a whole other thing. But
This is not an ad.
not an ad. But it's interesting because there's different avenues now that drive traffic into the pathways are different now.
And they all have to work cohesively. So one thing we noticed when we were doing this, we said, well, everything has to look the same, everything has to be updated, and everything has to flow naturally.
Yep.
And so we redid our entire website. We have a whole new website to go, because we had a fabulous Instagram, a fabulous Facebook page, and no one was touching the website. It was a little dated. So
It was
as
the
of
forgotten
January,
sister.
it was. But now then we realized how much people actually went to our website and how much people appreciate and love the content on there, but they didn't appreciate the visuals of it. So once you change the visuals of it, then we had people back to the website. Because they were swiping up from Instagram and everything. Once they got there, they're like, "What's this?"
Yeah, like
It
how do
doesn't
these
match,
two
so-
go together?
And I think the challenge for trade magazines in the beauty industry has always been grabbing the attention of the creative, which is, it's a very visually driven market and industry. So without a beautiful image, without a striking layout, it doesn't have the same impact. It's just a bunch of words. So that it's kind of created an interesting new opportunity for us to get people to get to some amazing educational content that they otherwise would be kind of glossing over.
Right, like
So-
we tell all of our clients who are delivering us content as ads or whatnot, a lot of times they want to show a how-to or they want to educate our followers. That's great, we love that, they love that, but no one's going to click on a page of a bottle. No one's going to look at an ad of a bottle. They want to see a beautiful visual, like very editorial shot, and then we'll do like a carousel post of like, okay, well here's what we used for this.
So, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you're seeing businesses making when they're trying to create content?
I think that people are very aware when something is phony and inauthentic. I think everyone's radar. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, girl, say it.
Okay.
Say it again.
Radar.
Perfect.
They didn't hear you.
Radar is very sharp. People know there's so much content out there now and everyone covers the same story. I'm talking like bigger news general organizations, and if you're telling a story wrong, if you're trying too hard, people know, and their shit radar is immediately set off. So I think that's a big mistake that a lot of outlets make when they're trying to increase numbers, and it's something that we try and be careful of too, because it is really tempting to create a really clickbaity article because you just know that you're going to get those numbers, but you're also not really serving your audience because it's going to be a bunch of fluff or.
Right. We post something about Hillary Duff and like everyone's reading it.
Yeah.
But we can't talk about celebrities all day because that's where it's not helping educate our audience at all. So,
Yeah.
and that's why people follow us and that's why people look up to us. It's to be educated on how to do things.
And I think also being authentic to your brand and sticking with it and not trying to be too many iterations of yourself. I think that, finding out who you are as a brand and sticking with that identity in all realms, not just content, but your aesthetic, the way that you treat people, the way you interact with clients, I think that's the number one thing.
Now that we know some of the areas in which that businesses are making mistakes, right, in ways that they can kind of stay true to themselves, why is it then so important for them to continuously create content?
That's the $1 million question. But we know that the service that we provide to our audience is information, it's education, it's connecting the brand with the consumer, it's making sure that beauty is our business. That's our tagline. It's making sure that we are taking care of that world. And though it's changing, it's still important to keep it all connected. And it's still important to inform the hairdresser what they need to know. It's not just trends. Did you know that this lightener is actually healthier for this particular type of hair? It's giving them access to that information that at a small salon, a hairdresser in ABC small town in Wisconsin or Idaho or middle of the country, not in a major city, that wouldn't necessarily have access to as easily as someone in a metropolis. So
Right.
it's
We have
so
we have a large following. Actually, the majority of our following is Middle America. It's, we have our New York and LA, but then everybody else, the majority of the following is in between that.
In between it.
And those people don't have access to everything that we have access to. We can walk down the street and we can, we see a salon, we can go in and ask questions. We see products, we go in and ask questions, and everyone knows everything about everything here. But then, you live in, I don't know, a small town. I don't know where there's to name a small town, but you can't just walk down the street and get educated on everything that you want to be educated on. Whether it be, paraben-free products or just healthier products if you have a certain skin disease or if you have an illness or something, we have all that information here. So it's up to us to tell people that or to give that information out. Yeah, so we feel almost an obligation to inform all our followers and readers about all that stuff.
And that's the one thing that hasn't changed in 141 years is it's still our duty and it's still our responsibility to make sure that, we are informing the hairdresser.
And people rely on our word. If we say something, it has to be accurate, it has to be true, and they will, based on what we tell them, they will buy what we're telling them to buy. So we hope. But they do take what we say and they run with it. And that's why we work so hard to make sure that we're producing the best content and giving the best information out there. And that's why, constantly our clients will be like, oh, well, we want to push this, and like, well, how will this help our followers and how will this help our readers and what are the benefits of this? And I think that's a trend. It was a trend for Salon, but now it's a reality that every company is trying to, every company is trying to make something that's healthier and better for people rather than just pushing out a product. Yep. And it's all coming full circle.
Yeah, and companies are trying to reach that consumer, and the print magazine may not have been the way to do that, but there's 1,000 other avenues that a legacy brand like American Salon can help facilitate that conversation.
So let me ask you this. For any salon or stylist watching today, because, we're going to have a few. Thanks, guys.
Just a few.
Just a few. What would you be looking for if they wanted to be featured on American Salon?
With Instagram, especially, it's a saturated space, and it's hard to find your way through the weeds, I guess. But I have to say that the things that stand out the most to us are things that are different, things that have a voice, people who have a message, people who are being authentic. And while it might take time to build that up and to get that exposure, I think that if you stick to what you feel is right and what you're good at, you will notice. People will pay attention. If it's not us, it's somebody else with an eye and a voice and a perspective. And I think that less of the same is important.
Back to content.
I like that. Less of the same.
We're always looking for. We'll repost anything that's beautiful, anything that we think our followers will love, and a lot of times it comes from a small salon in the middle of nowhere, and that's such a great shot, such a beautiful view, such a great perspective, and we're constantly combing through what the norm is, and we're looking at what necessarily people won't be looking at to find that original content that other people would just overlook because it was a small account, not a lot of followers, or it wasn't a professional taking the photo or something. Mm-hmm. But we don't mind reposting it because it's real, it's authentic.
And if you work hard on something, it's going to show. So I also wouldn't half-ass your work.
You're all with the curse words.
I'm like, this is
She
not.
actually doesn't curse.
Well, I mean, she's on a roll today, and
You
I'm
are
okay
on a
with
roll.
it. I'm okay with it. She's
You
feeling
feel like
bad
a badass today because of the leather jacket.
Bad. So, with that being said, right, being authentic, making sure that they can kind of stand out, right, from anything else that's being posted, kind of showing that different view or that different, as you said, the different eye, right? What are some of the things that you see right now that's kind of trending, that's different, that you can share with the viewers today when it comes to content creation?
I would say barbering is a huge trend right now.
Love me a barber.
And I don't think it's a trend that's going to die. Some people are like, oh, it's just a fad. It's not a fad. Like, guys love themselves. Guys are now, we are showing everyone that we love ourselves. We want to spend money on ourselves. We want to have someone do the shave for us, fix her hair, go once a week. It's not just a woman who can take care of herself. We can beautify ourselves too. And we have no problem saying it now. It used to be like you'd almost feel weird about telling people that you wanted to go and take care of yourself. But now I get a facial. I love them. I want to get my nails done. I want to look good. And I think that's like hold on. We'll edit some of this out. So I just vote to edit. That's my sign to edit out.
Blooper! I love it when you do these.
I'm actually a great voguer, by the way. I'm just saying. Not in these shoes, but anyway. Or these jeans. So barbering is definitely something that's going to stay. And so we're seeing a lot of companies, usually the perspective that most barbering companies want to show is like the rusky guy, the guy who's like with a beard and he's like all like in the woods and everything, and it doesn't have to be that way.
It's not really even a trend, but it's something that we're seeing more of, is people, hairstylists, really catering to textured hair. It's a market that I think was underserved for so long, and now it's finally getting its due. People are learning, they're educating themselves on how to style it, how to cut it, how to care for it, and I'm happy that more hairdressers, at least in like the Instagram field, are learning how to style it and doing some really awesome things. There's some really cool accounts that we follow who are doing awesome creations with textured hair.
Yeah, we can do a lot with it. I think when I first started, we had just we had kind of like a home routine, and we noticed that most of the other companies that we work alongside of were just posting the same hair over and over and over again, and we were like, well, let's look at this and see what we're missing. And we were missing textured hair. We weren't as diverse as we are today. We're now the most diverse social trade platform as well. We constantly keep track of let's make sure we post something like this hair today and something like this hair today. So people, it's not everyone has the same hair.
Yep.
And everyone's posting the same hair over and over again. It not only gets boring, but it's not helping anyone.
And that's real. We actually do have our social team actually does have a schedule of when they post a certain hair type if it's a balayage, so that we aren't just showing balayage all day. So we definitely make sure to have
some diversity.
We have a strategy for how we're producing our content, how we're giving it out to people. So yeah, but definitely textured hair is a huge thing this year, and a lot of companies are gunning for it.
Yeah.
I know we had a few companies who've always been focused on it, but this year they're making sure everybody knows that, hey, this is what we do. This is where we are all about textured hair, because now they realize it's now a thing that people are looking into.
Yeah, people are holding companies to, I think, a standard that they hadn't before.
A lot of people with textured hair would always be, I want to make it straightened, and I want to make it super tight. And they're like, I want it to just come out again. I want it to just blow up again. Mm-hmm. And it's all blowing up again, so it's great.
Another trend that we're seeing a lot of is nails. There were a lot of...
Can we talk about your nails for a second, please? I noticed these earlier. I have to make sure we mention that.
We have an appointment coming up soon.
They're beautiful.
Do not zoom in on the nails.
They're awesome.
Camera crew.
She has incredible
But
nails.
you're a perfect candidate or proof of my point that nail art is... People love to throw shade at nail art, but it's everyone wants it. And it's basically manicurists who are telling us that nail art is still, people are still asking for it. I feel like the nail companies are trying to almost move on maybe to other things, but I recently had an appointment at a New York Fashion Week pre-nail event, and I was like, so what trends are you seeing? And she's like, nail art, nail design, hands down. She's like, that's all my appointments every single day. Mm-hmm. And
that gets the most
knows,
If we post a photo with just a regular, yellow nail polish, nothing. If we post something as lavish as your nails, ton of likes. It's incredible.
It gets tons of love.
Many comments, many shares. People are just obsessed with it.
How did you do that? And,
right.
Which is something we love, because then it starts we've now initiated a conversation, an educational, inspirational conversation for our audience to just interact. That's something else that we're trying to do more of.
That's important to us. We want to start a conversation. We want people to be talking on our site, and we want to be talking with them, because that's why we're here.
This is not totally a beauty trend, but a trend in the space that we're seeing is, for a while, a lot of brands wanted to partner with influencers, and it's not necessarily going away, but I think that there is a kind of a revived interest in the celebrity hairdresser. I don't know why that went away for a little while, but I think people are now going back to that more. We're seeing a lot more interest, for instance, that one Hillary Duff
right.
story we did. everyone.
We were just so surprised, but it was the first one in like a while that we did on a celebrity, and it did so well. But, okay, should we be doing more celebrity stuff?
And we're seeing even just like a lot of the brands that we work with are partnering again with their celebrity hairdressers that they had worked with in the past, or like new ones, and they're kind of shying away from the influencer market.
But I think it was the influencers who everyone saw. You know, it's $1 billion industry, so everyone thought, okay, like here's an influencer, they're going to get us all this ROI, and then did nothing, didn't pan out for anyone, and now they're going back to the things that they know work, which is back to us, back to the celebrity.
People who know what they're doing.
Right, people who actually know what they're doing, who can actually make an impact on the message they're trying to get across. So that is huge.
So that's not a beauty trend, but that's just like a trend in in that space that we're seeing.
That you're saying is making some changes.
Yeah.
I did want to touch base back on us going all digital.
Okay.
Because there was something with our print magazine. You know, we would have to write those articles. Our edit team would write those articles about a month or so in advance.
Yep.
And
3 months.
3 months.
3 months?
She was like, I felt the pain.
Oh my
It
God.
was 3, but thanks.
I knew. 3 months in advance, and by the time you have that story come out 3 months after the fact, it is no longer relevant anymore. No one cares about it anymore, and people have moved on. With any story that comes out today, you see it on your phone, we swipe right, we see it in the morning, we read our story. Maybe there's a meme about it by noon, and by midnight the next day, everyone's over it. You know, the meme went viral, and everyone forgot about it by the end of the day. So with people moving so quickly through content like that and through stories like that, we can't wait 3 months to tell a story. So by going all digital, we're able to tell that story. We're able to take a story that we maybe did today, and it could be in our April issue tomorrow. Whereas it wouldn't be able to be in the April issue for any other print magazine, because you have to come 3 months before that. So it really opens us up to more relevant content in our actual magazine.
Great.
Yeah.
So this is almost like, and now I'm sidetracking, but one of the things that you mentioned that was kind of trending, right, is that you had these influencers at one point and it wasn't super successful, but then you put up a post about Hillary stuff and that did really well. It almost sounds like, even though, yes, you guys know exactly what you're doing, it's almost like you're testing the markets as well, right? So, and that was one of the things that we were talking about a little bit earlier with the question, now that we've sidetracked back to, why you're going back to digital. But it almost seems like when it comes down to what's happening inside of the business, it's almost like the business owners can kind of be a little bit creative on their own as well, and kind of tell this kind of short video story, or tell what they might have done in a blog, or in the day of the salon, what it might be like. They can be doing exactly the same things and kind of going and using some of the practices that you guys have. Of course, we're not going to be you guys, right? You guys are who you are. You've got some practice underneath your belt, but at least it's kind of giving business owners a little bit of inspiration of what they could be doing.
Completely.
Right.
And we give a lot of tips and a lot of advice on what they can be doing for themselves and how to brand their own selves. With social media and anything digital, you can do anything you want. There's no limit to what you can post and what you can produce as content and whatnot. You can brand yourself. And we give tips on how to do that all the time.
So I want to go ahead and thank you guys so much for sitting down with me today and telling us a little bit about how you guys are going digital.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
We're very happy to be here.
All right. We'll see you next time, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today for today's Coffee Talk. Bye.
Bye.